Hi, this is Charlie Thomas. We're talking about this Transworld cover that I got in the early 90s, February issue of 1993. I was riding for And at the time, which the GNS had went down to just the symbol, and it was And.
Right.
And I just happened to be on a trip out to California, and Mark Heintzman was working on an interview. So actually in this issue, you can see he's got an interview in the issue. I was out there, he was working on an interview, and we just ended up at the Blockhead ramp. So we were skating the Blockhead ramp. I started doing this transfer a couple of times, and then Grant wanted to shoot it. And I don't remember if it was Grant's idea or Anthony's idea to be in the corner, but we did. There is some photos of me without him in the corner.
Okay.
And then that just ended up being the shot that Grant liked. I remember him moving this cup that's in the photo, like it was out of frame. He moved it in frame. Probably told me a couple other, little tidbits, and we just shot a couple of them. I never thought anything of it. And months later, like, I get a call, like, dude, you're on the cover of Transworld. It's like totally shocked. Like,
good shot.
It was very much right place, right time. To this day, thank you, Grant. It's one of, I couldn't ask for anything better to happen in my skateboard career.
And then, so tell us a little bit more about Anthony here. Was he a friend from here?
No, Anthony rode for And. He was one of our AMs.
Right.
He lived in Long Beach. So he must have just been, because this is obviously around North San Diego area.
Yeah.
It was probably me and Shannon usually me and Shannon stuck together on those trips, and we'd go down to San Diego, stay at Chris Capero's house. He was the team manager.
Okay.
And then I don't remember specifically who was driving and what this day, but I just remember Mark was working on that interview. Anthony must have just been with us because he was one of the AMs and we were all skating together.
So he doesn't have Louisiana ties?
No, he does. He does. Actually, he's got some ties to New Orleans.
Okay. But he always grew up in Long Beach?
That I knew of him was from there.
Oh, California. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. And whose magazine was this?
Dude, this is pretty insane that this went to Mr. John Lucero.
Yeah.
That in itself is one hell of a thing.
Yes. And so now we've got your signature on here, and when I loop around back to California, I'm going to link up with Anthony and get him to sign this as well. He's in Long Beach now. And one of the other things I like to ask guys about is some of their earlier influences, like what classic covers stood out to you as a young skater?
Covers. There's a Transworld one of Tony Hawk, and he's doing like a crossbone, and you totally see like his graphic of his board. I'll tell you, photos more than like covers.
Okay.
So the Chris Miller photo doing the front side nose bone, the Grant shot with the pull.
Yeah. Amazing.
Nodis backside grab over the hip, the little black hip.
At Benicia?
It's not Benicia, it's one of the schools.
At the Venice High or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was always one of my favorite photos, and when Skateboard Madden made a shirt of it,
okay.
I wore that shirt till it was like see-through, full of holes. I had to throw it away. It's funny, a lot of stuff Grant shot, especially the stuff he has in the push, book, is my childhood. That's all my childhood. The Bones Brigade, the 4 inverts.
Yeah.
Like all that early Nada stuff, Mike Vallely's Checkout, like those just images all were on my wall, and that's the things I remember. Not necessarily so much like, oh, this cover or that cover. I just remember the certain photos that just to this day, like I see them and I'm like so stoked, and it brings me right back to like in my bedroom as a kid, all over my wall.
Time machine, totally.
Yeah, totally a time machine.
Fantastic, Charlie. I think that about covers it. Thanks for sitting down with us.
Well, thank you guys. I look forward to seeing it. Don't forget to subscribe and check out their Instagram.
Excellent.